When you first started out doing filmmaking, you might have heard of these rules that you have to follow when you're shooting your film, such as the rule of thirds, the rule of 180 degree, or that you have to double your shutter speed according to your frame rates. Today, I'm going to teach you guys how to break these rules. First off, to me, these rules are more like techniques that you can use to achieve certain results that you want in your film. And what I notice is that these rules or these techniques most of the time is meant to make the audience feel more comfortable in watching or to make your story seem more logical. So before you do anything with the rules, before you apply the rule, before you try to break the rule, first focus on your story. What do you want the audience to feel, or what do you want the audience to understand after watching the film? So you focus on that first, so then you can know whether or not you need to break the rules or not. Now, let's look at one example. The 180 degree rule. So when you're shooting a scene that two characters are talking to each other face to face, there's an imaginary line that goes across them. So the rule is that once you decide to shoot from one side of that line, you cannot cross it anymore. If you keep the camera on only one side of this imaginary line, the characters can maintain the same left and right relationship to each other. But the main reason of this rule is to make the audience feel comfortable when they're watching and to make them know what's going on with this scene. Now, think about what you want to achieve in this scene. If the point is to make the audience feel uncomfortable or to make them feel like they don't know what's going on, then you break it. But obviously there's a lot of situation where you break it and the audience still follow what's going on, but I'm not going to get into that. But I think what people have to understand is that filmmaking, there's no really rules, there's no walls to that. Like, you can just do whatever you want, and if the audience feel the way that you want them to feel, then you're doing it correctly. So you can always test it. If you're shooting something and you think the audience would feel this way, then you shoot it, you show it to someone, you ask them, is this how you feel? And if it is, it is, The thing with filmmaking is very tricky. Sometimes you cannot just show them one scene. You have to show them your whole bad short film and just ask them how do they feel in general. You cannot just show one specific scene and expect them to feel the whole feeling that you want them to feel. Sometimes it's about watching the whole film to really understand what's the point of that scene. I think a good way to practice this is to shoot a lot of commercials, because the point of commercials is to use a short amount of time and make the audience evoke certain feelings that you want them to feel, and so you can try it out. Also, another rule you might have heard of is that you have to double your shutter speed according to your frame rate. So the point of this rule is to have your motion blur look like what people expect it to look like. It is because of the old films, and the old films used to have these kind of motion blur, but there's a lot of people not doing it now. I saw people cranking their shutter speed like crazy to 4,000, and people don't notice. So if people don't notice and people are not feeling uncomfortable and people are not feeling the way you don't want them to feel, then you're doing it correctly. Well, to me, that's the way to see if I should break a rule or I should apply the rule. So just remember, don't listen to those, rules are meant to be broken or you should follow the rules. None of them are true. You should just use the thing that's gonna help you achieve what you want to achieve. That's gonna help you make the audience feel what you want them to feel. That's all. That's it. That's it with the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.